Hey everybody, hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to a very exciting episode of CSGO News. As always, let's get right into it. And very first off today, guys, in CSGO News, we had a lot of smaller tournaments this past weekend. Starting off, the first one was the premiere of the ESEA Global Challenge between 8 teams over there, who included Echo Fox, Alternate Attacks, Mortal Kombat, and also Generation X, the Brazilian team. But surprisingly enough, guys, it was actually Alternate Attacks and the Swedish team known as Crown eSports. I'm sure a few of you guys have actually not heard about them yet. They actually won their group stages out of the group. So Alternate Attacks were able to do that by taking down Echo Fox in a very convincing best-of-1 series to top off their group, and we also had Crown eSports, who beat the Brazilian team Generation X to secure their group. Now, joining both those teams were Mortal Kombat and Echo Fox, were the other two teams to make it in the semifinals. It was Mortal Kombat who took down Alternate Attacks in their group, and also very surprisingly to North American fans, it was Crown eSports who not only beat Echo Fox in the semifinals, but swept them in a best-of-3 series quite convincingly. And Mortal Kombat did go on to win the premiere of the ESEA Global Challenge, sweeping Crowns in the best-of-3 final there, but I would say going into this, Mortal Kombat definitely a favorite alongside teams like Echo Fox and eSports. Now, unfortunately for eSports, a group that didn't even make it out of the group stages, with their only win being against that Australian team known as Chief. So quite surprising there, as well as Echo Fox being beat by this new Swedish roster known as Crown eSports. A very good showing out of them and a very fun challenge to watch, as a lot of these games were very close or fairly close. And we continue to have even more late roster changes here in the CSGO scene. Here's a very late change. One of note to all of you guys is by Penta eSports, who announced their leave of Kyrie from their roster, and they'll be replaced by a temporary stand-in for Now, who's a former Leisure player known as Stefan. Now, a real reason behind this, why I'm sharing with all of this move to all of you guys, is even more surprising than the reason behind Penta's kick of Kyrie from their roster. They also announced that he left or that he was kicked. Really couldn't be determined which one it was. As the team announced their Facebook page, a majority of their fan base is that they need to go back to a majority German lineup. Now, obviously, Penta, one of those rare and minority teams out there who had 3 nationalities. They had Spain, Netherlands, and also German nationality players on their team. 3 different nationalities, and they were not a majority German team. Now, obviously, because they're from Germany, a lot of their home and domestic events occur in Germany, and those tournaments, such as one hosted by ESL, I can't pronounce the last half of that. ESL is hosting an event where they have to have a majority roster from that German nationality because that tournament is German teams only. So of course they had to either kick or have him leave the team to actually comply to those rules. So yes, Kyrie is off Penta eSports, and once again Penta is going back to being a majority German team. So a very interesting reason for a kick here. And this next segment, guys, is going to loop into my Cloud9 segment. So if you want to skip past this, if you're not a North American CSGO fan, feel free to. We also had a small other tournament this past weekend called the Cyberpower PC, which hosted a lot of North American talent, the top talent in North America, including Cloud9, Liquid, OpTic, Immortals, TSM, SK Gaming. Seemingly, they really don't have time to compete for these small prize pools. They were the only one in the top tier North American talent that was not there. Maybe if you want to actually include Complexity in that mix as well, Complexity was also not there. Everyone else, though, these are the top tier of all North American talent. So although it was a small pool prize, it was a very important tournament as of right now for seeing where everyone is in the American rankings at this point in time before the Northern Arena tournament, which actually starts in less than 2 days, which I'll also talk about more. The Northern Arena eSports Championships coming up in 2 days here, going to be very important and crucial. But this is actually a single elimination tournament, best-of-3 style, and between these 8 teams listed on your screen, it was Liquid, OpTic, Immortals, and Cloud9 who advanced on to the semifinals, the type of tournament where they start right away in the quarterfinals because there's only 8 teams and go right into the semifinals. So those 4 teams, we had Liquid, who swept Luminosity Gaming in their series, OpTic swept TSM, Cloud9 swept Energy. Yes, a lot of sweeps here throughout the whole tournament. The only team not to sweep their team, or their opponent in the quarterfinals, was actually Immortals, who beat Selfless Gaming 2-1 in their best-of-3 series to move on to the semifinals. Then in more sweeps, it must be a North American thing, it was Cloud9 who swept Immortals 2-0 in their semi with a very convincing scoreline, and Liquid, who also took down OpTic 2-0 as well to make it to the final. But in that final, it was Cloud9 who has looked unbelievable as of late. No one can really deny that, especially online, their presence there, as they swept Liquid easily in back-to-back maps, both going 16-7 scorelines to take the win of the Cyberpower PC. Only a $9,000 prize purse for first place, but still a very convincing victory over Liquid to make them, as of right now, by far and away the best North American team I've seen in a long time, especially if you guys look at their ESL performance in the North American ESL Pro League. They're 12-0 over there. Even more astonishing, I looked these facts up as well. Over the past 3 weeks, these guys have gone 26-4 in their last 30 match plays, or their last 30 map plays, and ever since they picked up Automatic, they've also gone 19-3 with only 1 loss, and that was the 2-map loss. They lost in a best-of-3 series, still very close to OpTic Gaming. So this Cloud9 performance has been looking very, very strong. The only real question now is, can they convert this over to LAN? A lot of people are talking about this, the Northern Arena tournament coming up very soon. So as of right now, I know a lot of you guys as well, there's really no longer any doubt in my mind. There was for a couple weeks there that Cloud9 is the top North American talent as of right now. Of course, we're excluding SK Gaming. Hopefully all of you guys knew that. SK Gaming by far and away the best team in the world, especially in North America. But excluding that team, Cloud9 is also on top as of right now. It's unbelievable how fast things have changed these last few weeks. A little over a month ago, it was Liquid who was by far and away the best North American team, again excluding SK, but they were by far and away number 2 with no one else even lacking behind them whatsoever when they had Simple, obviously at ESL Cologne, placing second to SK Gaming back in July, and now Cloud9, I mean, they couldn't even qualify for that major. They weren't even at that major. They failed at the qualifiers. Now you take away Simple from Liquid, you add Automatic to Cloud9, and also add 4 to 5 weeks later, and the tides have all of a sudden shifted into Cloud9's favor, and it's the only real question, as I said before, is can their online performance carry over to more LAN events? And the next one is going to be in 2 days. That's the Northern Arena Tournament, going to be happening in Toronto, Canada, with a lot of North American teams going to be involved, and it's going to be really cool to see if they can actually carry over this talent into a LAN event, and we're going to actually see how good Cloud9 really is. And also in really cool news, yesterday we had Navi Zeus tweet out this, who hinted at himself actually seemingly going to be hosting a sponsored event or a tournament for CSGO teams to be competing in. He also stated in a later tweet that any CSGO team in any actual country hosting teams can participate in his Cyber Cup, which is what he announced. And now obviously he gave us no other details including this, but it's going to be absolutely insane if this goes through. As many of you guys know, he's on Navi's inactive roster, but he's obviously been working hard if he's going to be hosting a tournament by himself. I really don't know the backstages and the backstory of how this all can come together, but hopefully he's not trolling us here. If he actually launches his own Zeus Cyber Cup, this is going to be the future of CSGO, with potentially all the pro players who exit the game or are inactive are going to be asking Zeus how they can actually host their own events. This is going to be really cool. I'm really curious to see if this actually happens in the future, or how soon it's going to happen, and what the details are going to be. What kind of prize pools can a player actually start for his own tournament? We'll be curious to see this sometime soon in the future. So congrats to Navi Zeus, who is really teasing us right now. And this next story was hinted largely because of the CSGO reporter. As many of you guys know, Decay, he actually leaked this story, potentially going to become true. I really don't doubt Decay. He always checks his sources, always has good sources, and that's for the Northern Arena Championships, which I said many times already in this video. It's going to be happening in 2 days from now, and that will be OpTic. A big news here is OpTic's going to be starring their old roster, as Tarek won't be able to play or compete, as said by OpTic Mixwell last night with his tweet right here. Another controversy has also been apparent, and again brought up by Decay, as well as he has confirmed from his own inside sources that apparently Stanislaw, who was kicked late last week, I'm sure many of you guys know this, OpTic, a big gaming organization, so of course when they have a move, many North American fans know about it, whether they're COD fans or CSGO fans. Apparently they kicked Stanislaw late last week and he was replaced by Tarek. Well, apparently also he'll be rejoining OpTic and replacing Daps, who will then be leaving the OpTic roster. So a big controversy as of right now as to what OpTic's going to be doing, and after sometime soon the Northern Arena Tournament, apparently these changes will come into place. So as of right now, OpTic has not come forth publicly about their statement about what the moves they're actually trying to make. Even if Devilwalk's going to leave OpTic, that is still yet to be announced. That was also announced by Rush earlier last week in an interview with HLTV. So apparently OpTic right now is not really too well at keeping their players under control with this leaked information, because as of right now, we don't know who OpTic's roster is going to be. We do know for sure though, for the Northern Arena Tournament, they will not be hosting Desi, who is going to be subbing in for the team. He was very upset about that as he tweeted out this. So as of right now, guys, OpTic is back to their old roster. It's been a leak though, apparently Tarek will be staying with the team and Stanislaw will be coming back and replacing Daps. Devilwalk, we don't know where he's going to go. As of right now, the whole OpTic situation is very confusing. Hopefully going to be confirmed sometime soon in the future. And NIP came forward with a big announcement today as well. As many of you guys know, Jacob, otherwise known as Pyth in game, had a hand injury not too long ago. He's still recovering from that. A lot of people have been saying he's been playing FPL, so he's going to be coming back to the team sometime soon. But it's also been rumored as well and announced by NIP on their own website that Disco Doplan spent 14 days with the team. He is now off the roster as well. They thanked him very much for his support with the team, but they're actually going to be replacing and bringing back a former NIP member, which had a lot of hype around this. That is former FaZe member, as also many of you guys know. Maikelele will be joining NIP for the upcoming Kiev event, as well as, of course, the main thing, the European ESL Pro League as well. So Maikelele will officially be coming back to NIP, but do not worry, guys. Get Right also came out on Twitter today confirming that Pyth is still in recovery. They're not going to replace, of course, they're not going to bring Maikelele in full time as of right now that we know of. NIP will have him sub in for the upcoming tournaments as well as ESL Pro League, but besides that, Pyth is still recovering. Yes, he's playing FBL because his doctor said he could try it out. Pyth is still in recovery. He will be coming back to the team sometime soon in the future, but as of right now, Disco Doplan is out. Maikelele, yes, Bill himself is now on the team and back to NIP. And I'm so sorry, everyone. I have school and a lot of meetings to go to, unfortunately, all landed on today, and of course, CSGO news is going like crazy, so I will be coming back with a huge episode as well tomorrow. Hope you guys all enjoyed today's stories. Again, going to be some great stories, hopefully early tomorrow or late tomorrow as well with another huge episode. Hope you guys all enjoyed. This is the kind of days that I absolutely love, but I'm just so busy with school and everything else that I don't have time to cover all these stories all in one day. So tomorrow's going to be a great episode again. Going to go into length and detail about some new roster changes and some new organization buyouts as well. So hope you guys all enjoy. As always, live, love, laugh a lot. Remember, I like you. Huge announcements coming soon. Also have a giveaway going on my Twitter right now. If you guys remember my sponsor, Gitcoin, thankfully they're going to sponsor me for a few more videos as well. They have a huge giveaway on their Twitter as well as my own giveaway they're going to sponsor for an actual Bowie knife fade. Yes, a Bowie knife fade going to be listed on screen right now. It looks absolutely absolutely amazing. The tweet link down below for both the Gitcoin giveaway and my own knife giveaway, guys. All you have to do is retweet for a chance to enter. Hope you guys all enjoyed. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Remember, I like you. So sorry for the scramble. Goodbye.